Hello everyone, this is Santoshi Shah from Abler AST Canada. Today event happened at 90 Dunn Avenue, the opening ceremony where they are going to do a ribbon cutting, and City of Toronto and partners to open a new housing supportive development. So let's check it out with me.
Capacity as Minister of Justice, but also as the local member of Parliament for this great community of Parkdale High Park. And what I've been learning about this building and what I heard about 2 years ago when we were here just churning sod on creating all of this is about the tremendous potential. And I think it's the potential that's realized when you have $14 million of rapid housing funding from the federal government when we're investing directly in creating housing for people to end homelessness and to make sure that people are housed. That can produce really significant results. What I've been hearing from the folks at Fred Victor and UHN is the potential transformative power of this kind of facility in terms of what it's doing as a social medicine model. And that's a model that really looks at sort of wraparound services right here in this building for the people that would come off the streets and find a place that they can have as their address, as their permanent location, and give them stability. I thought about this in terms of how does it connect in terms of my work as Minister of Justice. When you talk about justice issues, you're always talking about equity, and you're talking about equality for Canadians. And equality, as it's been interpreted by the courts constantly, is informed by this idea about dignity. And the word dignity came up in my conversations with Keith and with Andrew, because dignity is what you provide when you get people a chance to have a place that they can call home. And that is exactly what is happening. But I want to just salute not just the people that have put this together, UHN, Fred Victor, the City of Toronto, etc. I also want to salute the people that I in board represent in this community, because there's not every community that embraces a housing project such as this literally in their backyard. But the folks here in Parkdale have done exactly that. And that's what makes me proud to represent this community, because it is not about NIMBYism and about rejecting supportive housing and offers to support to help people who are vulnerable. It is quite the opposite. It is about embracing them, and bringing them in, and making them part of the community. That's the response that we all need to have, not just in Toronto, but right around the country. That's what makes me proud to get behind projects like this. Olivia's already been pitching me about we need more projects like this, as she always does. That's her job, and I appreciate she's always doing her job. But I'd say to you that there is another project not that far from here on Brock Avenue, where we put in an additional $21 million. And I hope to be there again, opening that up in due course. But I say to you that that's contingent upon ensuring that we've got sort of stable partners at the federal level who believe in this kind of project, who believe in rapid housing, who believe in protecting people who are vulnerable. There are certainly forces out there that would not really prioritize projects like this. My job is to ensure that we continue with projects like this, and that's what I'll continue to do at the federal level. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for accommodating my schedule. Appreciate this as a hybrid sort of announcement, outside a bit, inside a bit. I've got to get back to the House of Commons in Ottawa in due course, so I won't be with you for the for the entire proceeding. But this is really terrific in terms of a collaboration that promotes housing and housing first, because it is foundational to helping people with their health, educational, and economic outcomes. Merci beaucoup.
To be finally being able to move into a home. And I just toured that beautiful, accessible home. It's not a big apartment, but it's a home. You can cook there. You can learn to pull your life back together. You wouldn't get wet. You won't freeze. You know, you don't have to walk to a shelter, or walk to find food, or walk to the hospital, or walk to find medication. It really is about a secure roof over the head, but it's also a chance to turn your life around. And we know the Housing First Strategies talks about that. We talk about that, but to actually see it is incredible. And I look at some statistics. If a woman lives out in the street, their average lifespan is about 40-something, according to the medical officer of health in the City of Toronto. Me, you know, I'm housed, or any number of seniors that are housed, 80s. We live to the 80s. So it's half of a person's lifespan. Young person, they would die 17 years younger because they it's hard to survive on the street, right? And these kind of statistics underscore the need to build more of these homes. But if you think about it financially, the cost of the emergency ward, the cost of the ambulance worker, the EMS, which is by the city, we can unload our patients at the hospital because the emergency wards are full, which means they're stuck there, which means when you call 911, it will take them longer to get to you. And for the fire department that are stuck to wait for the EMS to come and take care of the patient, they too are stuck. So the chain impact of having the 51 people at a home, which is amazing for them, but it's also for an entire medical system and the City of Toronto first responder system is incredible. And the shelters, and I can go on and do the financial piece, but I won't because that's not what it's about. This is about a home. Dunn House is a home. As Dr. Smith outlined, it was developed collaboratively, City of Toronto, UNH, United Way of Greater Toronto, and then coming in, Fred Victor, and everyone pitching in. And this 4-story modular housing, where 51 people would be able to have supportive homes, wraparound service, kitchen, medical service, wow. And also, you know what it is that's really important? Community. Sometimes you ask them, why won't you move out from an encampment? Because there's no sense of community if they just live by themselves. There's no one around. Here is a community. It is wrapped around service. And right now, the City of Toronto is providing shelter and support to more than 12,000 people experiencing homelessness. And we also know that there are, you don't want to know the numbers, it's depressing, 90,000 people on waiting lists for affordable housing, rent geared to income housing. And it's very hard for people to find affordable housing. And then if they get evicted, you get into a downward spiral and you end up being on the street. That's why piloting and actually this kind of housing, especially supportive housing, is so precious.